I quick cut a few boards to mount. We're going to be mounting some of these roof vents. This one's going over the shower in our cargo trailer conversion. So basically, I'm going to do it upside down so it'll seat. What we need to do here is make something for when we shoot these screws down. And again, this will be sitting like this on the roof. When we shoot the screws down, we have to have something the screws will go into. And it needs to fit between there. So I'm going to show you what I do. I had some scrap bits of lumber laying around. Just stick that in there. Grab your pencil. Give it a little mark on the inside. Just like that. And you'll go cut that out. You'll need 2 of these long ones that go like this. And then I will show you how I get the short ones. Okay, so once you've got your longer ones cut, you just sit there and put one on either side. And do the same thing. You basically take a bit of scrap 2x4, whatever you're going to be building out of. It doesn't have to be a 2x4, it can be thinner. It's just something to run the screws into. I just happen to have these lying around. And you'll butt them up together, one side over here. You take your pencil and mark, and that will give you, I've already done a few pre-cuts as you can see, that will give you this right here. And so you have all 4 sides you can run screws into. I may run these on the table saw and plane them down just a hair because they do stick out just a tiny bit. But for a scrap wood, that's pretty good. So I'm doing 3 of these vents on my roof, which means I will need 6 long ones and 6 short ones. And all you do, when you have a scrap piece, you use your pre-cut template that you know fits in the roof. You butt it up, make sure it's level up here, and you grab your pencil, make a mark, cut it off. Make 6 of each if you're doing 3 vents. You only need 2 if you're doing 1, and that's it. We got the cheaper roof vents for our camper. The box usually comes with a pattern for this normally, but this box did not. So we're gonna have to make a pattern really quick. Dad's already detached this, and he's gonna just give you a quick little example. We have a spare box lying around that was gonna go to recycling, so anything big enough will do. The thicker it is, the harder it is to cut, but it makes a better pattern if it's real thick. So whichever way you want to go. We tried the lipstick method and just doing pressure. It really didn't work at all, and all it did is make a mess. So good old marker, pencil, whatever you got, just so you can see the pattern you're going to cut. He's just going to cut it with a box cutter, razor knife, whatever you call it, and I'll be right back. And he just did for the jigsaw to have enough room to turn. He's going to do all 4 corners with a large drill bit. It doesn't have to be this large. It has to be large enough for your drill bit, or for your saw bit. That is, unless you're doing it with like a circular cutting blade or whatever, you know, angle grinder, Dremel, whatever. But yeah, just something to accommodate. And I got lucky, and the kit that I have does have proper size square. I'll see if I can get that for you. Proper size square head. So you just put that little feller in the drill, and you should be able to run them down once you actually get it up there. And say we put a brand new metal cutting blade in there, so trying not to tear the metal in the top of our camper since it is kind of thinner metal. I'm going to do a good job. The less tears we have, the less we have to seal up. Isn't he clever? Alright, so he's ready to just start doing the initial cuts for our roof vent. Glasses down. It's going to get loud, but I'll just give you a video snippet of this, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's cut out. Make sure you put your saw up flush. And one big old hole. Ta-da! Okay, so Dad wants to pre-assemble the hardware for the roof vent covers, which you can see. What do they need to know? The hinge for the vent lid is here, so this would always go to the front of the camper, and you want the aerodynamic side of your cover to go to the front of the camper as well. So it should sit approximately like that, and this side being the front of the camper. And of course, always read your instructions, and wouldn't hurt to do a little homework on YouTube either. So that's what we're doing right this moment. The real quick fix from our previous video, we had done something just a little bit wrong. So this is kind of what you should see. Here's your front side facing the front of the trailer. So let's get that out of the way. So your mounting brackets, there is only one screw per bracket that goes into this thing. Well, in our previous video we actually had lined up and screwed holes for both. There's not. They only provide enough for one. You can go through and add more screws from the hardware store later. But basically that's what you're going to be looking at when it gets on your roof. And you can kind of see how that's going to... And of course your nuts and bolts will go through the holes that you made your marks for, lined up. Everything's front to back, left to right. Try and get it even. You do not want to seal these down to the roof. So that's something I've learned watching the installation video myself. So just a little quick update. One screw, not two. As you can see, we wedged some 2x4s up here, and my body weight will be on top while I'm installing this from the roof, which I have a nice, I actually took one of the sideboards from the wall and threw it up there so I have something to lay on, which spreads my body weight between these two. So you can do that with anything. You can do it with like 2x6s, 2x4s, any kind of, anything really, just to spread out your body weight so you're not putting it on directly on this super duper thin sheet metal. And that's about it, and they are just about done prepping. We got the putty stuff on there and the ring back on, so we're just about ready to start installing this sucker. Okay, so from the top here you can see they're trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. But this is the like I said, I just took the board off the side from the inside of the wall. I threw it up here. There's a beam under here and a beam under here, plus the 2x4s are wedged up, so that saves my body weight. They're locating. They've got me a drill with the screw bit on it and a drill with a drill bit, so I can run down into the long boards, which one of them is going to have to be... Okay. Goofballs. Alright, so it works best, and like me, go ahead and pre-drill. Just like that. You see, we didn't pre-drill these holes, and it wound up cracking the board underneath, so we're going to have to swap in a different board. We'll just have to back these all back out again and put it back. So, but yeah, pre-drill. Use a small little drill bit. Pre-drill, then run your stuff in. It'll save you some trouble with cracking boards. Okay, so as you can see, we got the first one in and open. Well, these are the 2x4s I had measured, and we split them in half to make them fit inside the channel real nice. You can see where the screws have come down just a little. If they're proud, we might go back with a Dremel and cut them off and reroute the wiring a little bit. A little bit of disappointment. Some of the worst welding I've ever seen on a new trailer. It's like they just let some young fella just practice in here, but that's okay. So we expected some maintenance on this. So what we basically got on the end of the drill is you can get a little set of wire brushes for the drill. Just knock off a bit of rust. Doesn't take very long. And then just grab any old paint, preferably something Rust-Oleum is what I like to use. And if you got like a rusty metal primer or anything that basically is good for rust, that'll work. But every bit of this metal has to be painted, so we're going to clean it up real quick and then paint it before we start adding anything. We have 2 more of these skylights to do, and I'll probably get you some better video of that when we got more light. So that's where we're at for the day. Okay, so we took the roof vent off here where we thought we were going to have the bathroom originally. We're going to move the bathroom down, so this vent's in the wrong place. So we made a patch. We had some sheet metal. I'll go inside here. Actually, right there in the corner, there was just some sheet metal that they had used to make a corner out of, so it was just extra lying around. We're not going to reuse it because we're putting actual walls in. So that's what this is. We just cut ourselves a patch that was bigger in diameter than our pre-existing hole. We've already put the cold weather strip on, as you can see. It's like a putty tape. The screws are these guys here, which, as you can see, I'll see if I can show you this in the camera, has a flat up against the roof. It's not showing up very well, but so that's what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill all the holes, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so as promised, sorry, my tripod just gave out. Alright, so we've got the patch on, and one of the things I wanted to point out might help you. I know a lot of you people are fond of measuring things. That's fine. What I found the easiest thing to do for any of these big patches, start out at the corners, because you just got to keep it from moving while you're drilling your holes, and then split the difference. You go to the middle, or approximately the middle, shoot, 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 and then you split the difference again. You go to the middle of that, in the middle of that, in the middle of that, and then you just keep splitting the difference all the way around, and there you go. It doesn't look too dissimilar from the spacing on the actual roof vent. And like I said, make sure you get them down pretty well. These are Phillips. They will strip out eventually, but get them down pretty well. If you have to, tighten them the rest of the way by hand. And now I'm going to start the let's see, fast dry latex caulking silicone. Here we go, and I'll see if I can get you a little closer so you can read that. There may be better stuff out there than this. Like, I know a lot of people are fond of this self-leveling, but I actually do have, with the caulk, I have a little bit of a gap going on there, which is probably already sealed up, but we're not taking any chances. So I'm going to go ahead and caulk this thing down. We will also be rolling on a rubberized roof coating, which will be another video, but so we're going to have like triple threat protection on top of this roof. So I will show you what that looks like as soon as it's done caulking, and I'm not a very good caulk expert. So it may look pretty ugly, but I guarantee you it shouldn't leak. And here we are, all sealed up. And as you can see, I actually took some of this silicone caulk and actually rubbed it into the screws as well to kind of make them a little more weather resistant, just in case. But see, I got a nice little layer buried up on both sides there. So that's basically, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of guys out there that can do a better job than me, but this should be sealed up and patched. So that's that. I'm going to go seal up the inside as well, and we're going to get ready to start spray foaming soon.